Well, since you're here, we'll go ahead
Let's
and
get it
get
started.
started. Yeah. Hello, everybody out there in YouTube land. This is Kenoshi Abominita here with another episode of Project Console. We haven't been here for a while. Probably not gonna do these every week. Maybe about every other week, or if something big happens in the gaming industry, like an event or something. There's just other stuff I wanna put my energy and focus on a little bit more. But without further ado, this is Project Console, the Ghost of E3 Episode 1, where we will be talking about Summer's Game Fest and the Xbox Showcase. And we might even touch on the Sony's PlayStation State of Play, which was pretty abysmal. But we'll get to that. Before we get into our topics, like my panelist member to introduce himself.
Yo, it's me, Mr. Red Fox, owner proprietor of BS Busters. Hello.
Hello. So the first, well, not the first, but the second conference that was held was the Summer's Game Fest. Did you watch it? Did you look up
No.
stuff after the fact? No.
No, I did not watch the Summer Game Fest. I try not to watch anything involving Jeff Keighley these days because uh, I find Jeff Keighley to be, how can I put this nicely, a human piece of shit.
Yeah, the Dorito Pope, as he was once called. Um, that life is way too short to be spending time watching Summer's Game Fest. It was
Yeah.
abysmal.
The only the only thing, like, people who are like, yeah, Summer Games Fest, this is the new E3. I've seen terrible E3s that I enjoyed more than the Summer Games Fest.
I
Does
mean,
that?
at least Nintendo's conference 2008 was amusing. It was embarrassing, but it was amusing. It was amusingly embarrassing.
I mean, the thing is that at E3 there's always something interesting. Even if I don't enjoy it, there's something interesting going on. There was nothing interesting at Summer's Game Fest. It's like it's the usual suspect bullshit we see every year.
Yeah.
And none of this was like, oh yeah, we need to have this at Summer Games Fest. They could have just made some shit up and it would have been more interesting.
So I guess the first game we'll talk about kind of reminds me of the 80s where, companies would have like, either a mature, like a rated R or PG-13 property, and then just like scale it down for kids and make it a cartoon. Um, so this is what Lego is making that's true. A Horizon Adventure game because Lego's trying to stay relevant, I guess. So they're just trying to use various different IPs. Uh it looks interesting. I would, if it goes on sale for like
You
fifteen
know why
dollars,
they
I
did
might
this,
check it
right?
out.
Because Lego Fortnite is a thing.
Yeah,
And Lego Fortnite made a metric fuck ton of money. So,
yeah. So
they're trying to keep it relevant.
yeah, so expect a lot of random properties to get Lego based games.
Or for Lego to basically find a way to make some money off of it. I mean, look, listen, okay. I like the Lego games. I just think the best Lego games were like Lego Star Wars, Lego Marvel. Um, the first Lego Marvel, I think, is better than Lego Marvel 2, Lego City, stuff like that. I thought shit like that was good.
Yeah,
You know, um, I think Lego Marvel 2 wasn't as good as the first Lego Marvel. I think the Lego Batman series was great. Lego Batman 2 is fucking amazing.
This is for you. For
Um,
you.
For you.
so my point is that I
Yes.
understand. Like, I'm not begrudging
That's
them
totally
Lego-fying
One of my
properties and
personal
doing something
favorites.
interesting.
The
However, at this point, it's just it's getting a little egregious. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's obviously it's coming to everything except the Xbox. It's coming to PC. It's coming to PlayStation and the Switch.
Oh, so basically, it's coming to PC. It's coming to Switch because probably, kids.
Yeah, it's coming to PlayStation, obviously, since it's a
And it's
PlayStation
coming to
game.
PlayStation because the PlayStation is the family console these days.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I would rather play this than the actual Horizon game. Gonna be honest with you, but yeah, it looks fun.
Man, it looks meh. To quote Reggie from all those E3s ago, meh. There you go.
Yeah.
And I know some people are going to get mad. How could you say that? What do you mean, man? I mean, like I looked at the list of announcements for the Summer Games Fest, and I'm like, eh.
Yeah.
There's nothing. I'm like, oh my god. I'm glad. Thank you, Jeff Keighley, for putting this together and showing this to me. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm sorry, I don't.
Let's see. Harry Potter Quidditch
I want you to take me to the
champion,
future.
which I'm guessing is going to be a microtransaction nightmare.
It might not, because let's not forget that Suicide Squad is the biggest flop Warner Brothers has had.
Yeah.
In a long time, and the reason it happened is because they put microtransactions in a what should have been just a single player game.
And Harry Potter is obviously compared to DC, is a fairly successful franchise for them. So I think hopefully they're sensible about this.
Yeah, but it's Warner Brothers, so probably not. I'm just.
Probably not.
I mean, look, man. Let's keep it 100% here, okay? Let's tell the truth.
I mean, I'm looking at the graphics and like this is even graphically the way it's made. This is like
It looks like it's some kid shit. So it's probably going to have microtransactions, but it's probably not going to be absolutely terrible.
yeah. It's not even that. It's just it looks like one of those $15 put together games to try to sell people a bunch of shit. So
Hey, you're right.
uh,
But what are you going to do, you know? This is look, listen. Gaming has gotten worse. It's gotten more lazy.
We're
You know,
celebrating
publishers, instead of keeping their budgets under control, think that what they're all searching for is that they want to make $1 billion game. And instead of like just coming up with a concept that makes people want to spend $1 billion, they want to nickel and dime you and put a whole bunch of bullshit that no one gives a fuck about in there, and then act surprised when it doesn't make money.
I mean, they don't seem to get it. You have games like, obviously like Fortnite or WoW or Final Fantasy 14. And it's just like mainly
I mean,
WoW,
16.
14. What was that?
Oh, the MMO. Sorry, I thought you were saying like games that they were expecting to make $1 billion.
And even Vanquish.
Yeah,
I know it's a game.
but here's the thing: WoW made a lot of money because they built that audience.
Yeah, that was
Like it wasn't just we released it an MMO, because there were other MMOs before WoW. There was EverQuest and EverQuest 2 and Ultima Online. I mean, there was other MMOs, and before MMOs there were MUDs, which were multi-user dungeons, which basically those are the precursors to MMOs as we know it. And some of them had subscriptions. So I fail to see. People aren't understanding what they need to do. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
They're acting
Exactly.
ignorant, as I say, as I wager, they're acting fucking ignorant.
Yeah.
Or at least developers aren't understanding that there's other shit involved. They don't get it. They're like, oh, well, why aren't people buying these games? Because, you know, people aren't buying these games because they're not good. I mean, it's, Suicide Squad lost money because it was trash. You know?
Yeah.
They're like, why didn't people buy this? Because it was trash, man. What? You think people should just accept something just because you attach an IP to it? You want to know why that Harry Potter game did well? The Harry Potter game did well because it was a legit good game.
Yeah, it was a decent game. People like, yeah.
People are like, oh, this is good. Okay, I'll buy it.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
what
like,
is so hard about just making a good game and then selling it? They're like, oh no, we can't do that.
you can make good games with microtransactions if handled correctly. Free to play games that are, very successful, like Path of the Exile. And
Yeah, but Path of the Exile is a legit good game within its own right.
exactly. So it's just like, so it's just like, I mean, they could do it. It's like, I don't get it. These.
Like, if you're gonna do that shit, here's what I'm saying, okay? If you're gonna do that shit, here's what you need to do, okay? Here's what you need to do, all right? Okay, here's what you do, okay? Okay, what you do is you freaking what you do is you freaking you take your game and you make a good game, all right?
Yeah.
Okay, you make a good game and then you sell it. Now if you want to do free to play, cool, but look at the free to play games that have succeeded. They're legit good games within their own right, and they're good enough that if the person wanted to charge for it, someone would pay for it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, if Fortnite was charging money, someone would buy Fortnite. They would pay for it.
Yeah.
And yet we're not getting that with games today. We really aren't. Like a lot of these free to play games, it's like, oh, this is only like a quarter of a game.
They're
Like,
not.
why did you buy my quarter of a game? Because it's a fucking quarter of a game, bro.
It seems like they're asking the wrong question. They're more focused on like, they're asking the question. They're asking the question, essentially, it's like, what kind of game can we make that will make the most money, rather than what kind of game could we make that would appeal to the most players? Like, what's a game that people would actually want to play?
Yeah, yeah, I could say that. You could say that, yes.
I mean,
Yes.
that's part.
I'm just
That's obviously part of it, but there's.
I mean, they're just following trends instead of making a good product.
Or they make games that people want to play and then completely screw the game over
In the
by
sequel,
not in the sequel, just in the microtransactions. They get super
yeah.
egregious with the microtransactions. It's like, okay, you
Well,
have
they get
something
ultra
here.
aggressive. They get
Yeah,
ultra aggressive with the microtransactions. Like I said, like okay, if you have a microtransaction, it's like, hey, you spend like $5 and you get a decent amount of content. I can't get mad about that. I might not like it, but I can't get mad about it. You know what I mean? But if you're fucking trying to sell me a game and there's like major shit missing, and if I mention this, they're gonna be like, oh, how dare you, sir? You mention this, they get mad. It's like, oh, don't you say that. Like, but you did this. I didn't. And then they get mad at gamers because why did you take the bait? Because you made an inferior product.
yeah,
Like, why should I accept mediocrity? That's what I'm saying. Like, as a gamer, why should we be held responsible for having discerning tastes?
yeah, yeah, exactly.
Like, literally, we get punished for not accepting bullshit.
Yeah, they get mad at us. You know.
It's like, oh man, why didn't you? That's like someone getting mad when you don't fall for a con.
Yeah.
Why did you believe that I was a Nigerian prince? Because everything you said sounded like bullshit.
Yeah.
Like every single part of that entire statement sounded like a load of bullshit.
Yeah.
And you know, none of it was ringing true.
Yeah. But they showed some other games. What was this?
Here, let me Google that and see what was announced so I can actually make an informed decision
No more
rather than
room.
just, you know.
Yeah. No more room in hell 2. Early access.
So they're announcing early access games.
Yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. There's some early access games that the early access games that have really intrigued me were from developers that actually prove themselves.
I'll be
uh,
honest with you. The only time I will give credence to an early access game is if it is indies. Because indies sometimes don't have the money. Like they had so much money to get the game to a certain point, and now they have to put it out there to get more money to finish it.
yeah.
Cool. I understand that. But if you're a double A, if you have a publisher and you're putting shit into early access, fuck off.
Oh man, yeah, yeah. Who's doing that? Who's double A in that? Who's
No, I'm using that as a general example. If you have a publisher and you're AAA or double A or single A, like you have someone who could give you money to finish your game and release a more or less finished product, and you're putting it into early access, I can't trust you.
yeah.
Like they're like, hey, we're having an early access this Halloween, so basically you want people to sign up to be beta testers. That's what
I'm
you're
just
telling me.
I'm just
That's
tired.
basically what you're telling me.
I'm just tired. I'm just tired of the same old zombie trope. Like, I wish they'd just do something else with zombies.
Well, zombies were played out a while ago, but I mean, they kind of left for a little bit. So now that they're coming back a little bit, it's like, oh well, I miss you. You left for a little bit, so now I can be like, oh, okay, cool, you're back. Because
Yeah.
remember when they had zombies and everything, it was Nazi zombies, undead zombies, running zombies, shambling zombies. It was like, look, man, hell, even that game that uh, the people who Insomniac did, not Insomniac, the people who did Ratchet and Clank and then left and then did that game with they had soda zombies.
Yeah.
What was it called? Shit. Um,
Oh
Damn.
yeah. Sunset Overdrive.
Sunset Overdrive. Yeah, Sunset Overdrive. Soda zombies. So my
Yeah.
point is that zombies got played out, and then they kind of went away for about 5 years. So now that they're back, I'm like, I can kind of, you know, it's
Yeah.
good to see you
Yeah.
because
But
you went away for a little bit.
Welcome to
Is
our
this a
first
squad-based
gathering.
game? It looks like it.
yeah, it looks like a survival horror, like a survival horror game. So
Yeah, I'm just kind of weird. Like, okay, so it's an 8-player co-op in a world with plenty of replayability, but you want people. I mean, I understand for a game that has like co-op, you kind of do need a beta test, like a real-world stress test, because you don't want to play that game and have people drop in. It's like, man, we could have beaten this match if Steve over here hadn't had a fucking shitty connection and lagged out. That's right, Steve. I'm looking at you, man. Look, you know your internet connection is trashed.
yeah.
Why the fuck are you playing this game? And your internet connection is trash. um, yeah, and then they announced Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah. Yeah. Man,
Yeah,
they already killed this game.
Yeah, I'll keep it real. I was kind of excited about this game until I saw the teaser trailer for it, and then I looked at the actual gameplay for it, and I'm like, wow, Ubisoft managed to make a Star Wars game where you play as a rogue, traveling around the galaxy with a team of, with other ne'er do wells. Look boring as fuck.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is exciting, and then they showed more. I'm like, oh, never mind.
Not to mention the microtransactions and
Well, you know it's going to have you play points. Like, oh, you want to upgrade your character? Well, you could grind for these points, or you could spend like $30 and just get it yourself. They're locking entire missions behind. They're locking entire missions behind. I'll still get this game though because I am a Star Wars fan, and oh god, no Jedi's in sight. Thank God. I'll just get it on PC where I can cheat and get all those points. Just use a trainer.
exactly. I mean, that's the thing about PC gaming. It's like you can alleviate some of those microtransactions BS.
And it comes out August 30th, which is only looks like the GTA in space we've been waiting for. Stop comparing everything to fucking GTA.
Yeah, it's just the same. It's just GTA's like the. Well, I think most people would consider GTA the granddaddy of sandbox games. I
The
don't know if
primo
that's true.
sandbox game. Look, I like GTA, but not every game that's a sandbox is GTA.
Yeah.
Yakuza. I remember when Yakuza came out. It's like GTA. It's Japanese GTA. Not really. Not really. No, not really. No, it isn't. Don't say that.
Yeah, didn't you compare
That
it
makes
more
you
to?
sound ignorant.
Didn't you refer to it more as the proper evolution of Shenmue?
What? No.
Remember?
IGN, GameSpot, all the Western game sites when Yakuza first was localized to America, way back in the day, compared it to GTA. They're like, it's like Japanese GTA. And then I played it, and I'm like, not really. No. For one thing, Yakuza has a much better combat system than any GTA game.
Oh, GTA's combat systems are shitty.
The combat system in GTA, like melee combat, is you just run up to someone and you hope that your weapon will connect. And then once you get them on the ground, then you'll go into the 3D ones, you'll go into the automatic stomping a motherfucker out animation, which is really the best way to knock someone out. It's like knock them down and then stomp their asses to death.
God, four got so much praise, but that combat system, and you do a lot of fighting, you do a lot of shooting, and you do a lot of punching, and you do a lot of
And
kicking,
it's trash. Like
and it's all
Nico Bellic's
terrible.
like,
It's all terrible.
I'm an army veteran and I fought in the war. It's like, well, your combat kind of sucks for a dude who's supposed to be war trained, army trained, and you can't fight for shit. Yeah, yeah. GTA 4 is trash. GTA 5. Ironically, the GTA that had the best combat was GTA San Andreas.
Yeah.
Ironically. And San Andreas was just an updated version of what they used in Vice City.
Yeah.
And yet it had a better combat system than GTA. Because in San Andreas, you could learn like 4 different combat styles.
Yeah.
Like you started out with like a basic like street brawler style, then you could get boxing, then you could get like you could get what was the other one? You get like judo, and then another one was like dirty fighting.
Yeah.
Or maybe no, it was like 2 forms of martial arts, boxing, and then like the last one was dirty fighting.
Yeah.
And all of them, like all of the different combat styles, like they did more damage or they were more defensive or offensive in nature. It's like, oh, there's actually some strategy to this. And then they went to GTA 4, which was just kind of like a step backwards in so many ways.
Yeah.
But everyone likes that Nico Bellic and his cousin Roman.
Yeah, it was getting tens, nines, and tens. It's like
This game is amazing. I'm like, is it though? Is it? Because GTA 5 isn't really great either.
I mean, that's the thing about Vice City and San Andreas. I would say, like for a lot of people who are fans of those games, they'd probably agree that those games still hold up compared to
Yeah.
the newer stuff.
3 aged the worst, but Vice City, you can go back and play Vice City, and just the soundtrack alone, especially if you play the PC version with a mod that restores all of the soundtrack that was stripped out because Rockstar lost the rights to it.
Yeah.
But if you listen to the original soundtrack and like mods that upgrade the graphics and shit, I mean, this game still holds up. Same thing with San Andreas. GT3 though, oh, that's a rough ass game to play. It's so rough. That's a rough game. 4 4 is all right. The thing is, I don't like the protagonist in 4. Nico Bellic is kind of like, I don't give a fuck about this character. Personally, if I was in charge of that game, the executive director, I mean, the producer, instead of doing Nico Bellic's story, I would have had the main character from the Ballad of Gay Tony, be the protagonist. Because the Ballad of Gay Tony hit the right tone for me for what I think GTA should be, which is like kind of whimsical, silly, but also kind of dangerous and serious at sometimes too.
Yeah.
Lost in the Damned was a nice little expansion, but that shit was too depressing.
Yeah.
It's like this man ain't never gonna get gonna make it out.
Yeah. But they're making another Sid Meier's Civilization game.
Oh yeah. Well, Civilization never really lets you down. You know you're gonna get something decent, bordering on going up to good with Civilization.
Yeah.
Now, if only they can fix that bug where India is all peaceful until they declare war on everybody. It's like, oh, Gandhi's not gonna do anything. Gandhi turns around and fucking declares war. You're like, you motherfucker, you piece of shit. I'm gonna wipe you out, Gandhi.
Soon the entire world will be eating curry.
Yeah.
Spicy curry.
Yeah. Which means they're gonna be blowing up their toilets. Have you ever eaten food so spicy that you know that when you go to the bathroom, it's gonna burn coming out, and you're just afraid to go to the bathroom? And when it finally hits, you're like easing it. Like, maybe if I do it slowly, it won't burn as much. But either way, it's gonna burn. You just gotta kind of just bite down and just let it out. It's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I don't eat Indian food. And I say this as a black person from the South. We put hot sauce on everything. Yeah. Indian food's too spicy for me. That should tell you something. I'm like, no. I was watching Man vs. Food, and this guy ate one of the world's hottest curries at the time. He's just eating it, and I'm like, at what point did this restaurateur want to become a supervillain? It's like the whole world's asshole shall burn. I'm like, God damn. Yeah, like, did someone come into your parents' restaurant, murder them, and make fun of how bland their food was, and now that turns you into an evil supervillain?
Yeah, it's like you really want to destroy the lining of people's stomachs, don't you?
Yeah. I mean, like, here's the thing: if you destroy the lining of my stomach, I can eat some yogurt. I can take some Pepto-Bismol. I'll be all right. But when your asshole is burning from eating some spicy ass food, that's just, oh, that's bad. That's so bad. You're like, oh. Or even worse, your stomach is upset, and you get that hot, spicy, burning gas. Where you're not even going to the bathroom yet. You're just passing gas and it's hot. You're like, oh shit, this is gonna be so bad. This is gonna be so bad when I go to the bathroom. Oh God, why did I eat there? Oh Jesus, why? Why? My friends are like, let's have Indian food. It'll be all right. No, it's not gonna be all right. Why did you do this? Why, Steve? Why did you? We could have had pizza. We could have went to Dave and Buster's and had pizza. We could have had sushi. We could have went to Famous Dave's and had some ribs. No, curry. I'm never going out with you again, Steve. Steve is my go-to person to blame. Just some random person named Steve. Yeah. But enough of that. Yeah. I mean, it's Civilization, man. I mean,
Yeah.
you know. Hey, I'm not looking like the base game I'm looking forward to, but you know what I really like about Civilization? Getting it on PC and then downloading mods that let me play as fictitious nations. Like you can be Wakanda.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You can be Wakanda and Atlantis, and you can like I saw a mod for Civilization 5 where you could basically create like they replaced all the nations with their Marvel equivalents. And there was one that did it with their DC equivalents.
Yeah.
So you could have like Doctor Doom from Latveria, you know, shit like that. And it makes total sense he wants to take over the world because that's what he does.
Yeah.
I am Doctor Doom. you're you know, like the Marvel edition of Civilization. So like your one of your natural disasters could be like the Hulk rampages and destroys part of your cities and shit. Like, god damn. What the fuck, man? Anyway, yeah. Looking forward to Civilization 7.
Yeah. They're making another Dragon Ball game.
But this one's good. It's apparently it's made by Arc System Works.
Here we go.
Oh, it is. Oh.
Either Arc System Works or the same people who made oh, it's the people who did the Tenkaichi series.
Oh. Oh, that
Yeah.
should be.
But it's gonna have a ton of characters. So I thought it was Arc System Works. It's gonna have a ton of characters. Apparently, there are almost a lot of there's gonna be a lot of variation between all of them. Unfortunately, they're already starting with the pre-order shit. So if you pre-order it, you get 6 different versions of Go Tanks.
I hate that. This is what the thing I hate.
Oh, sorry, no. You get 3 versions of Go Tanks. You get Classic Go Tanks, Super Saiyan Go Tanks, Super Saiyan Blue Go Tanks, and then you get 3 versions of Broly.
Yeah.
So it's basically a whole bunch of variants of the same motherfucker over and over again.
Yeah. I like the art style, but the thing is about the thing I hate about anime game, Naruto does this, Dragon Ball does this, is it's like they just have different variations of the same character. It's like,
Yeah.
why not just make, okay, if you're gonna have Naruto, make some of the costumes, just make some of the variations costumes, and those costumes have different abilities, so it's not taking up slot for other characters that people want.
I agree with you. I mean, personally, like, okay, because that takes more work. Okay, I would rather have a smaller roster where each character is different than have a huge roster where you've got like like 8 clone characters.
Yeah, yeah,
Like we're like, well, I mean, let me put it this way: I would rather have a smaller group of people with a few clone characters than with like maybe 1 or 2 clone characters where it makes sense for them to be clone characters than having a whole bunch of characters that are, I mean, that's kind of the problem we have with a lot of games these days is that it's a lot of fucking clone characters.
yeah.
And I don't know about you, but I'm tired of clone characters in video games. I am, Smash Brothers was bad enough.
Yeah.
Smash Brothers was terrible with all those damn clone characters.
Yeah.
It's like, it's the same fucking character. No, it's not. Yeah, it is, though.
Yeah, but the thing is, I know that, for example, with Naruto, there's certain eras of Naruto where where he has different move sets or different eras of various characters where they behave differently. But sometimes they'll have 2 different characters or 2 characters that are practically within that same era.
Functionally the same character. Yeah, it's like Ryu and Ken. Ryu and Ken are functionally the same characters, especially now that they have Evil Ken too. It's like, Well, aside from one of you having an updated Hadouken, I mean updated Shoryuken, and the other one having an updated. Well, I'm gonna call them by their English names because that's the way I played Street Fighter. One of them have an updated Rising Dragon Punch, and the other one having a different, an evil version of their spinning kick. It's like, okay, you're functionally the same fucking characters though.
Well,
like,
like for example, it's like you can have the Nine Tails Naruto, and then the Nine Tails Naruto with the True Seeker orbs. Like, couldn't this just been a transformation
isn't
or
this the same
something?
character? I mean, functionally, isn't this the same? Like, aside from maybe a different costume, they're functionally the same character. Is what you're telling me?
Yeah, yeah. Like
You know,
it's so annoying.
yeah, but they love to do that shit. That's a major function for gaming these days. Is that they will make a character and it's like, oh, this is the same fucking character.
Yeah. But I'm probably gonna. I mean, it looks fairly fun to play. I might pick it up.
I mean, if you're a fan of that, I mean, I personally don't give a shit either way because you know I play a lot of different games, but I'm just like, okay,
Yeah.
your point.
Yeah.
That's it. Like I said, my issue is just like no one's really doing anything really interesting. Like I said, I would rather. I mean, the best Dragon Ball game we had was that one done by Arc System Works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that was the best one we've had in a long time. Now, my favorite Dragon Ball game, though, I still have to say is Dragon Ball Budokai 3.
Yeah. That's
Budokai 3 is still the king of the mountain in that regard. Because Budokai 3 was just like they threw it, like it had everything. And all the character, like you could customize your character and all the characters had their own little thing going on.
characters actually transform too. Which
What?
is one characters actually transformed, which is a knock against uh, Dragon Ball Fighter Z.
Yeah,
I kind of wish they had a system in which you were able to transform.
they
Yeah,
probably didn't have the they probably didn't want to because in Budokai the transformations were all based around your character basically um like you had to the transformations for your characters were based upon you had to you actually had to do that shit like in the show. You had to power up to a certain level and then you had to like have that transformation ability equipped in the cap in your character's capsule thing, and if you didn't it was you couldn't do it. So it was like it was kind of troublesome. I mean, I like their faithfulness to the show, but it was like, okay, this is eh.
yeah,
you know.
and honestly, the way Arc System designed their game, I don't think it would have worked. Um,
Yeah, they made a better fighting game, but not a
yeah,
better
Dragon
like
Ball
they like I
Z.
said they
Yeah,
yeah they did a better fighting game, which no knock against it, but because mechanically Dragon Ball that one that's the fighting game is so much better than the one we got, but
yeah. Uh, but
I said but like this new one there's like it's the people who made Tenkaichi. Oh, you mean the one that's just functionally the same shit over and over again? Like basically it turned into who can shoot the most energy balls, power up the most, and then do some other shit. Like there was no real there was nothing interesting going on. And I mean that just that felt lazy to me.
yeah,
It's sad we had such an uninteresting show. I mean uninteresting
Here's to three
level up
moments
system.
we can't miss. To the
In Budokai. The combat system was just, oh, let me just shoot energy balls forever and power up and then use your ultimate attack, and that was the end of it. It's like this is broken.
yeah.
And no one mentioned that. They were like, "Oh no, it's not broken." I'm like, "You can't tell this shit is broken."
So apparently they're making another Batman game.
Yeah, but but
What happened? Oh, yeah.
yeah, add the butt
VR.
to it. There's a
Yeah.
butt there. There's a big
Yeah.
butt there. It's so big, it can't even fit in the chair. If you took 2 chairs, it would spill over. What's the butt?
Introduces players to VR. Gotham City. Yeah. Well, this game ain't gonna sell.
Yeah, yeah. I hope Warner Brothers got a lot of money uh, from Facebook because I think it's on the Meta Quest, whatever it's called.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have much to say about that. Just don't waste your money. Anyway, Street Fighter Five is getting some more
We're celebrating the
updated,
moment.
updated DLC crossovers with King of Fighters. So that's That's going to be interesting. And I
King of
think
Fighters. Yeah, King of Fighters hasn't. Uh, I mean, I'm glad they announced it, but King of Fighters hasn't been great for a while. I think we can all agree on that.
you didn't play the latest one? I thought that was decent, but I just I think with the success of Smash Brothers, it just you know like some of these fighting games are gonna try to do more crossovers.
Yeah, but
Like
crossovers only work when you have something to crossover with. You can't just have a crossover and have nothing else going on, which is
yeah,
what a lot of these things are doing. There's like, oh, we're gonna do crossover. Okay, does this crossover make sense?
yeah. I partially thought I kind of thought that my thought process was well SNK versus Capcom. They're getting a new one of those.
Do another one of those? I mean, at this point, SNK is not what it used to be. So, wouldn't it make more sense to have Arc System Works versus Capcom?
Yeah, that would actually be pretty cool. I would love to see that.
Soul Bad Guy versus Ryu. Soul Bad Guy and Kai Kisuke versus Ryu and Ken.
Yeah, yeah, that would be
Although
cool.
the power level of Soul Bad Guy is so much higher than anyone. Like the characters in Blaze Blue and Guilty
Guilty.
Gear are
Yeah,
so much higher than anyone in Street Fighter. Like I
yeah,
think the only person who could match that level is Akuma and M Bison.
yeah. You would have to create a scenario where
They get powered up,
they get powered up, where they end up becoming
get deep,
gears
or the Guilty
themselves.
Gear gets depowered.
Either depowered or they get the other characters get gears or become gears themselves, and somebody else
Yeah, I
takes
wouldn't want
over.
that. I wouldn't want that. That's too much. Yeah.
uh,
Because the whole point of the brilliance of Guilty Gear is that um Guilty Gear is Guilty Gear is the to me Guilty Gear is the successor to Street Fighter 2
yeah,
because Guilty Gear is what Street Fighter 2 used to be, which is anyone can approach Street Fighter and find a character that they can be good with. But if you put the time in, you can reach mastery level with that character and become a badass, right?
yeah.
Whereas Street Fighter has kind of moved away from that, where it's like, oh, like Street Fighter 3 was too technical, and like you had to have like a damn near bachelor's degree in how to fight
Yeah.
and how to use characters. You know, V isms and X isms and all that shit.
Yeah.
And I shouldn't have to do all that just to play my damn game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's too much. That's too much. You're
Um,
asking too much.
I don't know. Maybe you could have a scenario where M Bison, does something, opens up the backyard, somehow bridges those two worlds together. I mean, fighting game lore already really doesn't make sense half the time. So,
I mean, anything's possible. I'm just like I said, I personally would prefer like I'm one of those people I never was like, "Oh my god, Akuma, Akuma, Akuma." I always thought M Bison, like any Street Fighter game that doesn't have M Bison as the main villain, I'm like, "Oh man, this Street Fighter's already kind of trash."
yeah. Yeah. Um. What's this? How do you pronounce? Blumhouse. Blumhouse Games unveils. Uh. All right. Gristle Theater of Gristle Theater of Idols. Fear the Spotlight and more.
That that does not sound like a good game.
I don't know what the heck that's supposed to be. Yeah, there's not a video for it. It was just an announcement.
Okay.
Um, Power Rangers. Rita's Rewind reveals the new old school style beat 'em up. I guess
Welcome.
we're getting Power Rangers
Here's
beat
to
'em up.
thrilling moments we can't miss.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
Yeah. When's the last time we've gotten a? I mean, there was a Power Rangers fighting game that was all right. Ah, that came out a few couple years ago.
Many years ago. Like
Yeah.
I would say the best Power Rangers game I ever played was the one that was on like the best 2D platformer was slash beat 'em up was the one that was on the Super Nintendo, like way back in the day. To me, because every other Power Rangers game's just been kind of like, Power Rangers. Like they just like Power Rangers is like Dragon Ball or like most property games where someone got the property and they just made some shit. They just bought some shit and they're like, oh, you should like this because we bought it. I'm like, yeah, but it's trash though.
Yeah. Mixed feelings about the art style. It looks like I mean, it
It
looks
looks
good. I mean, it looks fun, but I don't know. I kind of a mixed vibe about the art style though. I'm not completely sure about it.
no, the Power Rangers look kind of the art style to me look kind of cheap. I know they're like it's supposed to be retro and digital clips. Digital Eclipse has a pretty good record, but the art style looks a little cheap to me. Like
Is it?
this looks like this like they needed to take this and get it like okay, I see what they're doing. They're making this. They use the same engine as they did for that new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles thing.
Yeah.
This is what this is. They took that engine and they used it to make Power Rangers.
Yeah.
So
That game looked great
cool.
because it looked like a Super
It
like
looked like
Mega Live Super
a
Nintendo.
superior version of a Super Nintendo game.
Yeah. Something.
Now, here's the big question: are they going to have a thing where you basically get the joint, combine the mechs together, and you fight the bosses as a giant, as you know, in mech form? Now, if they show that, okay, they do, but it's like a first. This is some Goemon shit right here.
Yeah.
You know, I
It's.
might get this. This looks kind of interesting. I might get it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it looks fun, but it's getting a mixed vibe. getting a mixed vibe from the look of it.
All right.
Uh, make bre- sorry, Mecha Mecha Break sets beta test date for this August.
Yeah, it looks like a Gundam game. I mean, not a Gundam game. It looks like a Macross game.
Yeah.
Macross. And for those of us who love Macross, you know, we haven't had a good Macross game since the fourth gen.
Oh wow, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, they keep on trying to remake Macross games, but they're shit.
Yeah.
Like I haven't played a like I said, I haven't played a good Macross game in years.
Yeah.
And the last time I played a good Macross game was many, 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 many years ago.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it looks interesting. Definitely have to see more though. The first Descendant. It's a July release date.
We're celebrating the moment that we worked for all year, the NBA Finals. Here's to thrilling moments we can't miss. And to the rest of us waiting on the edge of our seats to see what a trophy will end up next, to the NBA Finals.
Not sure what this game it is. Looks it's like some kind of obviously it's science fiction. It's a CGI trailer so far.
Yeah, so we're already like, I'm a little sus.
Yeah.
Pure CGI trailers are always sus.
Yeah. Yeah, this game's supposed to come out in July, and you don't have it.
You don't have gameplay. It's all CGI.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very sus.
Weird.
Very sus. Apparently, this is like a action game.
Yeah.
It's and it's a Nexon free to play game. Well, fuck this.
Yeah.
Yep. Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. Alan Wake 2.
DLC is out tomorrow, which was already out.
We're celebrating the moment.
What, Alan Wake 2?
For all year, the NBA Finals.
I mean, if you're a fan, I never was a huge fan of Alan Wake. I never really gave a shit about it, but I know people who are like, Alan Wake, you gotta play Alan Wake. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I don't really care about this. I'm just whatever. Skate gameplay revealed. Consoles playtests are on the way.
Welcome to our annual
So,
gathering.
For people who are fans of Skate, a lot of people, I love Skate. I guess they're bringing it back, but don't hold out hope of it being good because EA is involved with this. And I mean, when EA is involved with bringing shit back, it's normally going to be trash.
Yeah.
So, eh. Valorant's coming out. From people I've heard who played, they say it's actually pretty good.
We're celebrating the moment that we were.
That's the it's a free to play first person shooter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a free-to-play first-person shooter. But I heard from people that I've heard who I trust who say they played it, they say it's actually pretty good.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So, I'm not saying it's the second coming of Fortnite or anything, but they say it's pretty good for what it is. So, Anything else?
Among Us anime series clip. I guess they're making an Among Us series.
Oh, that game where someone's killing you off who looks like you and is amongst you.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. Uh,
Welcome to our annual gathering.
Dune, Awakening story trailer, sets the stage for
yeah,
treaties.
I'm looking forward to that. I like the Dune books
Yeah.
and the franchise. I don't like the Denis Villeneuve movies though, but I like the original Dune stuff. So them bringing that back is actually kind of cool. Like them doing an RTS because I mean, if there ever was a series that lends itself well to an RTS, Dune is because I mean the whole point of Dune is that you're basically the entire galaxy is built around this one valuable subject. I mean, this one valuable resource that can only be found on one planet.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like, you know, Dune really lends itself to that type of gameplay.
Yeah. Yeah. That is definitely true. The thing
Yeah.
about Dune is it's a lot. You know, it's obviously you read the books. It's at least if you read the original book, it's dialogue heavy versus
Yeah. I mean, Dune, the first three books done by Frank Herbert, I would say if you really want to enjoy those books, get like a reader companion to go with them while you're reading them,
yeah.
so you can go back and forth, or like read it with people who've read it before and understand it, who can explain certain things to you about it. That's the only book I would say do that with. Other books, just read it for yourself and figure it out. But Dune is because the thing is, Dune, especially the first book, is told like it's told the princess who eventually at the end of the first book winds up becoming like a political marriage of convenience to keep Paul from basically destroying everything in in the known human space. Um, it's told from her point of view.
Yeah.
She's basically telling what happened from the point, like it's multiple accounts from multiple people that she's cataloged into one thing. So that's why it's not a traditional narrative. So most people don't like that.
Yeah.
Understandable.
It's easy to get lost. I really see a lot of people getting lost while trying to read it. That's why it took
Oh
me
yeah,
a couple times to read it to really get into it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, for me, the first time I read Dune, I didn't have that issue, but I was just like, I'm trying to read it, and it's a dense book. It's like 600, 700 pages. It's dense. It's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah.
For me, what helped me get through it was I read it while listening to um, the soundtrack from the 1980s film,
Yeah.
the Toto themes, and that helps because that theme music from the 80s film, the David Lynch version, is actually really cool. It's like dun 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 dun. It's like, oh man, you fucked up now. They're riding worms, bitch.
See, Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 trailer.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that game. I like the first Kingdom
To our
Come
annual
because
gathering.
I cheated and made it so that Henry never got hungry, so I didn't have to always keep on feeding him. So he
Yeah.
became hungry, hungry Henry.
That's what's that? Medieval survival game? Is that how?
No, hungry, hungry hip, Kingdom Come Deliverance was basically, think of it as a first-person action RPG where you basically play the son of a blacksmith and his wife, and you go and run some errands, and then you come home and you find that your village has been attacked and your parents have been killed.
Oh.
And so now here you are, the half-trained son of a blacksmith, who your father and mother are dead, the shop is burnt down, you basically being turned down to nothing, and how you're going to make your way in this world. So Henry eventually, and he's illiterate, by the way, because he can't read. Uh, so so basically, you essentially have to go around trying to make a way. Like he eventually winds up becoming a squire to a knight and going on these misadventures and shit like that. But here's the thing: Henry is like imagine an RPG where you're a side character, not the main character. You're a side character.
Oh, interesting.
That's the original Kingdom Come
Oh yeah, I
delivered.
remember this game. This game was super demanding. I remember people talking about it being super
It wasn't well
demanding.
optimized. It wasn't demanding. It was not well optimized for consoles, and you had to have a beefy PC to really play it.
Yeah. Yeah, but even at the time, I heard fairly decent things about it. I
Oh
remember
yeah,
hearing decent things about it.
it's good. It's a the first game is really good. I've played about halfway through it, but it's one of those games that you don't sit there and binge it. You play some of it and then you go do something else. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like a Fallout, like Fallout New Vegas. Fallout New Vegas, I can start playing that and I can just start dicking around with side content and mod content and just be like, yeah, I haven't even gotten to New Vegas yet. I haven't even gotten a quarter of the way there. I'm just off doing my own damn thing,
Yeah.
exploring vaults and murdering people.
Let's just talk about the last game of the show because I still got to talk about the Xbox showcase.
Xbox thing. The last game was
Welcome to our annual gathering, the
The
NBA
last game
Finals.
Phantom
was
Blade
Phantom
Zero.
Blade Zero. Yeah, yeah. This game looks interesting. I don't know if I'm again a super fan of the art style. A little too gray. Uh, but it definitely does look interesting. Uh, Definitely gonna have to see more of it.
Could be good, could be terrible. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah. I remember when they showed this at the PlayStation conference. I think it was maybe about a couple of years ago. Not a couple of years ago, but maybe about a year ago. We're doing all this all those weird tricks and stuff. It definitely looks like a really fast. It looks like a really fast-paced Souls game, which I just find interesting because Souls games are usually slow and clunky.
Yeah, but I mean, you kind of lost me at Souls game. I don't like Souls games.
I don't
Um,
really like them either. I just
yeah.
think they're annoying and. But this looks like the kind of game I could get into. Honestly,
All right.
at least
Yeah. I just don't. I don't like the concept of having my dodge ability tied to something else. Yeah. I don't like that shit. It bothers me. Go away. You bother me.
yeah, yeah. So there was another conference that took place a couple days after, um, and that was the Xbox.
Pardon me. Pardon me. Pardon me. Pardon me. Yeah. What? Excuse me.
Oh, did, are you on the phone?
No, someone called me. And I'm trying to figure
Oh,
out what they were calling me. They'll come back later. What were we about to say?
oh, there's another conference that took place, and that was the Xbox Showcase. I heard this was the best. I mean, compared to Sony and Summer Games Fest, this was the best out of the three so far.
That's
Um,
not. We're damning them with faint praise because it wasn't good either.
yeah, yeah,
I look, I'm damning them with faint praise. Look, being the best in the remedial class does not mean that you're smart. It just means that you're not the dumbest in the special class.
yeah, yeah. First game that's on the list here is Age of Mythology.
Yeah, I mean that's a
We
good game.
return to you now.
I mean, if you ever played, I mean, Age of Mythology was kind of like the spinoff for Age of Empires, except instead of it being based on real life shit, you could like, let's say you were playing as the Greeks, you could get to the point where you could summon Zeus to come and fuck some shit up,
Oh, yeah.
which
So
was
it's a
kind of cool.
yeah. So it's a remake. I take it.
Let's see, it's huh. Let me take a look. It's yeah, it's a remake. Better graphics, probably more particle effects. The only thing is, it's coming to PC too. So, I mean, it's coming to console, which this was like a PC thing. Like, why is this coming to consoles?
Yeah.
But I mean, I'll probably get it. Avowed,
Avowed. Um,
God.
that's I don't know. Looks interesting.
Yeah,
Hope it's
I'll
good.
probably get it. It's Obsidian.
Yeah.
Obsidian's never Obsidian, even like Obsidian C tier games, like C grade games, are still much better than a lot of other companies' A tier games. Case in point, the Outer Worlds is better than Starfield.
Yeah.
Oh man, yes, the Xbox, the Bethesda fans. Oh, your hate makes me stronger.
I mean, it looks like Oblivion, but I don't know, maybe better.
Elder
What
Scrolls Oblivion. I
Avowed?
mean, it looks like a better version of Oblivion, though.
Yeah.
I mean, like, here's the thing. You don't play Obsidian games for the graphical fidelity. You play Obsidian games for the writing, the gameplay systems, and how well they can, how well crafted the story is. And even bad Obsidian, like even like I said, even because that Obsidian doesn't really make bad games. Even their C grade games are still much better than a lot of other companies' A grade games.
Yeah, the magic in that looks a lot more interesting than I've seen in Oblivion
Yeah.
games.
Plus, they've got guns.
Yeah,
You know, I mean, what fantasy setting has guns?
yeah,
Like, you can literally become a dual wielding gunner. It's like, hey, man, we've got magic. I've got guns.
yeah,
You shot me. Good guy, bad guy. I'm the guy with the gun.
yeah. It's based off it. Yeah, it's apparently it's based off the Pillars of Eternity universe.
Yeah. It's which those two games, like the second game, Deadfire, didn't do well commercially, but like I enjoy those two games. I've had a lot of fun with them. Um, like I said, Obsidian doesn't make bad games. They might not always hit, like be commercially successful, but I've never played an Obsidian game where I'm like, this is some bullshit.
Let's see.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Black Ops 6. I mean, it's another Call of Duty game, so you pretty much know what you're getting.
Black Ops the Black Ops games tend to hit a little bit better than their like modern warfare shit does. So, and this one's a 1990s spy thriller. So, it could be good.
Yeah.
Good evening. The Soviet Union is no more.
Don't care.
Despite
No, what were you
the
saying?
potential for instability and chaos.
The thing about the thing about Black Ops games, I've at least enjoyed those probably the most compared to the other stuff.
And the new innovation that it has is Omni movement. So basically, you can sprint, slide, and dive in any direction and move like a Black Ops action hero across all game modes. And it's coming back with Prestige, Theater mode, and round-based zombies. So if they're doing round-based zombies, I wonder which characters they're going to have in this game. Or maybe they already announced it. Maybe Cheech and Chong. This is the one that's going to have Cheech and Chong in there.
Yeah.
Cheech and Chong. I'm like, look, man, there's a zombie apocalypse. I'm not trusting Cheech and Chong.
Yeah.
I mean, unless afterwards you just want to smoke out. But, the next game is a Doom prequel.
Yeah.
I guess we're going to find out why the Doom Slayer was locked away in the first place. Because he just couldn't stop killing demons. He won't stop killing demons. They were so scared of him, they locked him away. They've got some cool weapons. He's got a chain. He's got a shield that's that's a fucking chainsaw shield. He's got a chainsaw shield. What type of bullshit is this? And he can throw it like a discus and cut motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Shit.
Like,
This might be the Doom that gets me into the Dune reboot because I didn't like 2016 or Eternal.
yeah. I I got bored with both of them.
Yeah, well, the thing is, like, everyone was like, "Oh man, this is so revolutionary." I'm like, "This is fucking Metroid Prime, except M-rated."
Yeah, it's a Twitch shooter, Metroid Prime with blood and guts.
Yeah, it's M-rated Metroid Prime. Like,
All
okay, I
DLC.
run into. Let me get this straight. I ran into an arena. Okay, the doors didn't lock behind me. Okay, there must be something important in the next room. Oh, I got something important in the next room. Okay, let me run back. Oh, the door's locked. Oh, this is gonna be an arena. I got to kill everything in here so that I can leave.
We
It's
got
Metroid Prime.
we got a 3D map. We got some puzzles that we have
Yeah.
to solve in order to get to the next area.
Yeah.
It's
I
like,
mean, this
okay.
game at least looks semi-open world, and
Yeah.
you're traveling and doing shit. Which I'm like, this is interesting. This is different from the Doom we've been playing. But this shit right here, the last ones, I was like, this game is just boring.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. I really don't. they finally showed some more Fable, or is this the same trailer they had before? No, it's a different trailer.
Oh, it's a different trailer. It's a different trailer.
So yeah, I might get it.
Hopefully they have a character creator. Cause
Let me play as my main character, create my own main character. I hope so, because I don't really like the character they created. That that gender neutral female character who's like, eh. Like the thing I liked about Fable is that I got to create my own character. It's coming out in 2025.
I mean, it's called Fable. You'd figure.
Yeah.
You'd figure that would be one of the big selling points.
Man, you would think, but a lot of these companies have been fucking up lately. Like, remember, Fallout 4 had a voice protagonist.
Yeah.
And every choice you made just devolved into either no, sarcastic no, normal no, yes, or sarcastic yes. There was no real nuance in what you could do.
Yeah.
They're bringing back Gears of War.
I actually have
I'm sorry. I don't like this franchise.
I get why people don't like it. I have fond memories of it, but
I like that tactics game they did. That was cool.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited about Indiana Jones, though.
Yeah, that could be interesting. I mean,
Dr. Jones. He's killing Nazis, man. Come on, man. You get to kill Nazis.
Hopefully, there's LucasArts. Sorry. Hopefully, there's a LucasArts game that doesn't suck. Shit.
I mean, they used to be on point. They used to be, back in the day, they were on point. When they did Star Wars The Force Unleashed and The Force Unleashed 2 is when they started going down the shitter. Because those games were rushed. Yeah. The first game was rushed. The second game was rushed. That game had like a year turnaround.
Yeah. Those games could have been...
They could have been great.
Yeah, they could have been good.
But they were like, we're running out of money and they're about to shut us down and we need to get this out. And it's like, yeah, but you're putting out shit though.
Yeah.
And I didn't like Force Unleashed anyway because I thought it was kind of trash. Yeah. Microsoft Flight Simulator. I
guess so. If you want to test your $5,000 gaming PC, it's a great game to have.
Well, I mean, not just that, but if you're really gonna play Flight Simulator, you kind of have to play it with a flight simulation rig setup, which meant you're gonna spend at least $1,000 on the flight stick, the pedals, the console that emulates a console from an airplane or a helicopter. It's expensive because I used to play flight simulators and I still do occasionally play a racing simulators. It's an expensive setup with like the ones with haptic feedback that actually kind of fight you like you're actually flying. Yeah, it's expensive.
I actually had a Dune, like a Dune version of Flight Simulator where you could fly how do you pronounce the name of the planes that they fly in Dune?
Ornithopters.
Ornithopters? Okay. Yeah, you can fly one of those. That looked kind of cool, but
yeah. If they did, like, the thing is, I always found Flight Simulator boring because, first of all, the ones you play now, you can't even crash the damn planes. I mean, that's the point of Flight Simulator, is if you fuck up, the plane crashes. You literally try to dive the plane into the ground, it just bounces around. I'm like, what's the fucking point?
Yeah.
That's just stupid. So I find Flight Simulator to be kind of lame these days. Now, I tell you what would be cool if they have a fantasy flight simulator or sci-fi flight simulator where they have like science fiction ships you can fly. That'd be cool, but like real shit, I don't give a fuck about a Boeing 747 unless you're gonna simulate the door blowing off because they didn't maintain it. Oh shit! Oh god! You can be Sully Sullenberger and land this shit in the Hudson. Yeah. Or you can be Denzel Washington from Flight. Look, you better get drunk before you fly this plane. That's the only way you'll be able to land it. I'm drunk right now, Your Honor. You want the truth? I'm drunk right now. Yeah, yeah. Look, man. This is for a particular niche. It's a prestige title. It's not gonna sell gangbusters, but Nintendo supports it because it has their. Sorry, Microsoft supports it because it has their fucking name on it. Microsoft Flight Simulator. They can't not release it.
Yeah.
Perfect Dark looks not as terrible as I thought it would. I'm not getting it day one. I'm gonna let someone play it, and then I'm gonna take a look at it.
Joanna
You know,
Dark looks a little off.
I mean, yeah, but you never saw what she looked like in the game anyway because it was first person.
Yeah.
It doesn't like it's a moot point. Although if this comes to PC, someone's gonna mod in a more accurate to back in the day Joanna Dark. So just to get it on PC, so you can just mod it. Like I got Persona 4 Golden, right? I didn't like the voice actors and I didn't like the opening. I liked the one that was on the PS2. So I got it on PC and I modded that in. Like someone did it and I just downloaded the mod and I mean that's the great thing about console gaming. I mean about PC gaming is that if you don't like it, someone can figure it out.
Yeah.
So this is some Deus Ex shit right here. This is what Deus Ex should have been, but Square Enix just didn't fucking understand it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the only downside is that unfortunately there's no Rare to do this. Someone else had to make this shit, which is just it hurts my soul to think that there's a Perfect Dark that Rare wasn't involved with.
Yeah. Hopefully it's good. I know people have fun memories of this game. I never played it, but
What, Perfect Dark?
yeah.
The original Perfect Dark was amazing. Like, imagine a GoldenEye game, but less laggy with even more innovations than the original GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was like a better GoldenEye.
Yeah.
Better graphics, less laggy, AI that was smarter. Like you could play multiplayer matches with perfect sims, right? Which were like the second tier below the best sims to fight against in the game, called dark sims. Dark sims basically were like if you could play a multiplayer match and win against dark sims, nothing in the base game could really take you down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then we've got South of Midnight, which looks interesting. The game looks interesting. I might get this just because it looks so much different than what we normally see. It's a little laggy looking, but looks interesting. Coming 2025.
Yeah, this was a problem. This was kind of a problem with the. Oh, they must be going for some kind of weird, like stop motion-esque effect.
I mean, if that's the case, if it's supposed to look like that, okay. But it looks like it's not quite done yet. Like they got to run that through the render about another 4 or 5 times.
No, actually, yeah, you're right. Like, when I think about it, it's like, because I've seen games that have like an artistic animation to it,
yeah,
but still run smoothly.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Yeah,
but it looks interesting. The art style alone, the fact that you have a person of color as a protagonist, and they're not making the mistake that Square Enix did with that game they did about the girl who got isekai'd to some fantastic land, where it's like, well, the whole point is that it's a person of color. I'm like, with that lame ass. We know grown people trying to talk like teenagers, trying to write for a teenager. It's like, no, you really don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This seems like it's a little bit better.
Yeah.
There's another State of Decay coming.
Oh yeah.
Uh,
Oh yeah. It like I'm looking at because they're showing gameplay now, and I'm looking at it. It's like the gameplay seems to be running fine. So it must just be an artistic choice by the. It must just be an artistic choice for the cutscenes.
yeah, I think maybe they're trying to make. Oh, okay, I get what they're doing. They're trying to make the character look like a voodoo doll.
Yeah.
Like she's like a caricature, and considering that this is set in like the Mississippi Delta, like in the bayou and all that shit, yeah,
yeah. Yeah. I see
yeah, I
that.
get it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, State of Decay 3, cool. Uh, zombies yet again. Hey, zombies,
More zombies.
zombies. I mean, this might be better because now it's taking place years into the apocalypse, and you're actually taking shit back. So cool.
Yeah.
Here's what they're adding to the game. Brutal combat, cooperatively battling back threats in a survivor group, and permadeath. So
Yeah.
when you die, you die. That
Yeah.
sucks.
And
um,
one more thing about South of Midnight. I wonder if you just fight Cthulhu at the end of it all, since that story takes place in that particular area.
I hope not, because it's involved with no, it's involved with Robert E. Howard. No, no, not Robert E. Howard. What's his name? Um, the guy who did Cthulhu was a racist piece of shit, and I don't want to be involved with. I don't want any money going to his estate. Fuck that guy. Basically, is what I'm saying.
No, the thing about Lovecraft is like interesting
Yeah,
ideas.
yeah.
Thought it was kind of boring
Oh yeah, yeah.
though.
What people have done with Lovecraftian style, like what other people have done, like those base ideas, those nestles of ideas of something that's so outside of our realm of experience that even looking at it drives you insane, is an interesting concept. The problem is that the guy behind it was a racist piece of shit. So just on general purpose, as a black person, I don't want to support his shit.
Yeah,
I'm like, it's like Cthulhu. I don't want anything involved because every time you do a Cthulhu monstrosity, you have to give his estate money, and fuck that guy and his family.
yeah. Well, I'm sure there's gonna be some weird Lovecraftian references, since again that some of his stories takes place in that
Yeah,
particular area.
I mean that could be the case. I'm just simply saying the thing is like the native monstrosities that exist in like from Native Americans and old slaves and shit like that is good enough. We
Yeah,
don't need to add, some white supremacists post World War One ravings coming back and seeing people with half their face blown off. Where we didn't have the technology to fix their facial deformity, but we had enough technology to keep them alive and put some shit over the wound. like, okay, cool. Shit got worse in World War Two.
yeah. Anyway,
Yeah,
let's see. Oh, Assassin's Creed was
yeah,
shown off.
yeah. The game that made people angry at history. It's like, God damn it, I don't want a black samurai. But historically, there was a guy who was an enslaved African who was sold to Oda Nobunaga, who made him into a samurai. There, there, he actually existed. Um,
Damn.
let me be racist. Yeah, okay. I mean, just tell the truth. You just want to be racist.
I mean, here's the problem. It's like the Assassin's Creed thing has taken and I made this argument with a few people. It's like the Assassin's Creed franchise has taken a lot of creative liberties. I mean, you have a magical apple
Yeah,
slash Well, it's not I guess it's technically not magic. It's high.
It's
Super high
technology.
technology.
It's
But it
technology
feels
that's
like
so
magic.
advanced that to us it is magic.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
Okay,
how it's presented.
it's like a vaccination. If you went back 1,000, no, if you went back 1,500 years to the 500s, and you told someone if you stuck them with a needle, you could basically prevent them from getting sick,
Yeah.
it would be magic to them
Yeah.
because they don't understand how vaccination. They don't even know what blood typing is.
Yeah.
But that doesn't make it magic.
Yeah. 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 Exactly.
It just means that it's It's so advanced that it's incomprehensible to them how it works.
Yeah.
Like if you took an electric car and you showed it to someone from 100 AD, they would think it was a monster.
Yeah.
They'd have no concept how it worked.
Yeah.
Maybe a really advanced Greek, maybe, because the Greeks and ancient Arabs were like kind of the founders of modern science and observation and like experimentation and empirical evidence, shit like that. But if you just some fucking goat herder in the middle of nowhere, it wouldn't have a clue. They think it's a demon and kill you.
Yeah.
Damn savages. Anyway,
Well.
yeah. So Assassin's Creed Shadows looks good. I'll probably get it. First Assassin's Creed I bought at launch ever. I've never bought an Assassin's Creed at launch. I wait until they go on sale. Can you believe that shit?
Yeah.
The next game they showed is Fallout London. I mean, Adamfall.
Adamfall. Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Fallout London, but it's basically Fallout London, except no vets. So it's already kind of not being as cool. It's coming 2025. It's coming to Xbox, Game Pass, and PC. So no PS5 for you.
Ain't nothing coming out this year for nothing. It seems like.
I mean, Fallout London's coming out this year, so you can play this functionally. If you have Fallout 4, you can play this on PC with the download. It looks cool. I mean, it's set in a real world nuclear It's inspired by a real world nuclear disaster that happened in northern England in 1957. The game follows a fictional storyline where you find yourself in the quarantine zone 5 years after the event. You'll explore the countryside, villages, and settlements, and meet odd people, wicked cults, rogue government agencies, and others along the way. Explore this open world adventure and seek out the truth at your own pace. A single-player survival action game, Adamfall blends post-war Britain with Cold War paranoia, folk horror, and elements of British classic sci-fi to create an immersive and thrilling gameplay experience. Looks cool. Like I said, it looks like some what?
I said it looks interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing. I'm looking at how much money I'm going to be fucking spending next year.
Yeah.
Then they have Expedition 33, which, it's a reactive turn-based RPG. Got an interesting art style. It's got turn-based. Oh man, this shit's like some this shit's got some time to attack shit going on, man. You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of let's see, what was that game? Shit. Damn. There was this game for the PlayStation 2 that the series actually began on the PS1, but it got popular on the PS2, where you basically had this ring, this action ring, and you had to press the X button at the right time in order to maximize how much damage you did to enemies. Crossed with the Super Mario RPG time to attack stuff.
Yeah.
This game looks good. I might get it just because of that.
Yeah, it looks like a Paper Mario mixed with some third-person action, high octane action.
Yeah. And then we have the trailer that broke my heart. Dragon Age: The Veil Guard.
Oh.
this fucking game. Yeah, I suspect this is gonna be some bullshit, but you know,
Is this the new
what do
Dragon
I
Age that's supposed to come out?
Yep, Dragon Age 4.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh, and then we have Flintlock, where you basically play a human in the world where the gods are real, and you feel that they wronged you, so now you go around killing them with a gun.
Oh shoot. So
Yeah. She's
Kratos
got a
all over
gun.
again, right?
I mean, look, man.
More
I mean,
Kratos.
look, man. The main character is a black lady, so I might have to get this just as solidarity because we're finally getting protagonists who aren't just generic white guys with a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah.
You know, because that shit got old. And it's like, oh man, okay, we're gonna play a video game. The main character is a generic white guy with a 5 o'clock shadow. It's like, fucking hell. Can we? I mean, I hate to break this to you, but okay, 51% of the population on Earth are women. Okay, 70% of the people on Earth are not Caucasians. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's more people of color on Earth than there are Caucasian people. So why is it every fucking video game in existence for the longest time just has some random white guy as the main character?
Yeah.
And it's coming out. Flintlock's coming out July 18th, 2024. So I might get that game. It looks cool.
If it's vengeance you want.
Okay, hey. What's a genre that is overplayed already?
Zombies.
No. It's like Overwatch. It's a genre that Overwatch kind of rode in on.
Yeah.
Hero shooters. We're getting another one next year. Fried Punk. And it's going to fail. Because people are tired of hero shooters. They were tired of them last year, and they're tired of them this year. And they're going to be tired of them next year, too.
Getting another Life is Strange game. Double exposure. Bring back our.
Are people tired of this fucking series?
I don't know. I don't know who's playing these games.
I think it's like the same 20 people. They just keep on buying. They buy like 80 copies each. Do we have to go over Mecha Break again? Because it's the same shit.
Yeah, we already talked about that.
All right. Metal Gear Solid. Snake Eater.
Delta. Yeah.
They're bringing it back.
This actually looked.
They're doing a new one. So
Metal Gear, but this actually looked interesting.
I mean, this technically is the first game of the series. It's a remake of the first game of the series. They already did this before on the GameCube. So I guess every few console gens, Konami's gonna drag that game out again.
Yeah. Well, it seems like they're using a lot of the. They're using as much of the original audio as they can. Like they're using the original voice actors, like the original audio from the game. So it's just a straight remake.
I mean, look, if you want to get the first Metal Gear and you don't want to go back to the MSX, which no one wants to go back to the MSX, and you don't want to go back to, you don't want to drag out your GameCube, which I had the GameCube version because I'm crazy like that, and the 3DS version that was a port of the GameCube version. Here you go, folks, and it's coming to PC.
Yeah.
Mixtape, meh.
Is this another?
It's one of those stylish indie games.
One of those artsy games.
But I like the music. They've got Devo, Roxy Music, Lush, The Smashing Pumpkins, Iggy Pop, Susie, and the Banshees, Joy Division, and more. I mean, I might not get this game, but I might get the vinyl soundtrack for it.
Yeah.
Stalker 2, Heart of Chernobyl.
I guess so. I don't know. I've never played these games.
All right. Wu Shang, Fallen Feathers. Looks interesting. got some Soul shit going on here.
Yeah, so
Didn't they also announce the Wukong at this shit?
I don't know.
Yeah, I think they did. They announced Wukong, which
Yeah,
is
they
that game
did.
I was really looking forward to. Wukong.
Yeah.
Like will the real Goku please stand up and beat the shit out of everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's like, I want Goku in Smash Bros. If it's like Sun Wukong, yeah.
Yeah. Microsoft just scooped up a lot of these reveals. You got, so Sony and Jeff Keighley didn't have anything this year. It's like Microsoft
Well,
came in with the bags of money. It's like,
I don't even
hey,
think that
just
was the
give me
case. I think Microsoft was just like, hey, we'll help you put your game on PC, which is a bigger audience than Sony, than Microsoft and Sony and the Switch.
yeah.
Because if you put it on PC, PC is a bigger audience than all of them.
Yeah.
So, you want to go for the biggest audience, that's the biggest audience. Because if you get like 0.5% of PC gamers, that's still a lot of fucking people.
Yeah. This game looks pretty fun.
But that's my own personal opinion. I could be wrong. I'm just some guy.
Yep, 2025. Everything's just
We
coming
got
out next year, guys. It's just next
we
year.
got a few games coming out this year, a lot of games coming out next year. So basically, if you can hold out till next year, you're gonna have a lot of shit to play. Suffice it to say. More or
Diablo
less, you're gonna
content.
have a lot of shit to play next year.
Yeah. More Diablo content.
Yeah, Diablo. I mean, I mean, Diablo 4 is better than Diablo 3, but I'm still not like, oh my god, Diablo. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they kind of backpedaled. I've heard they kind of backpedaled on a lot of weird things that they were doing with the game. So
Well, they made it very grindy because they want you to spend real world money for fake world shit. And I'm just like, why?
you're already asking people to pay $70 for the game. Now you're asking them to pay more money for more shit.
Yeah, and I get it. Making games is expensive, but it's getting to be too much. You know what I mean? It's getting to be. It's like, we're not made of money. You know, we have jobs, we have money, we have disposable income, but we're not made of money.
Yeah.
All right. Anyway, that's it. I got nothing else to say. Anything else you want to go on before we you want to bring up? Do you have a standout of the shows?
You know what? Yeah. I think we talked about. I guess my not entirely. Not Avowed looked interesting. Obviously, Phantom Blade looked interesting, and let's see, thought Gears of War looked interesting. South of Midnight. That is also a game I'm gonna keep an eye on. And let's see. Oh, Wukong as well. That looked interesting. A decent game. Was there anything? Was there anything you found interesting? Is there anything that stood out to you?
Okay, I'm about to say two games, one for each of the showcases. For the Summer Games thing, I found the announcement for what was that game? I forgot what it was. I'll just stick with Xbox. The two games at Xbox that looked interesting to me was South of Midnight and actually 3 games: South of Midnight, Flintlock, and I'm cautiously cautious. I'm not optimistic. I'm not pessimistic. I'm cautiously cautious about the about Dragon Age Veilguard. Although looking at it, it pretty much looks like it's just it's Mass Effect. It's medieval Mass Effect.
Yeah, yeah. So, other than that, there's if there so happens to be a Nintendo Direct next week, I think I'll have a cast. But if there isn't, I'll just probably do it the week after, a week after next. Um, but we've been going for a while. Do you have anything else you'd like to talk about before? Anything else you'd like to say before we wrap things up?
Yeah, I know we're being snarky and talking shit, but look, listen, if you disagree with us, cool. Don't let us influence how you feel about something that you're excited about. If you're excited about it, god damn it, be excited about it. These are just our opinions,
Yeah.
and that's just how we feel. Um, Here's a little aside: Sumo Group. We're touting how they, had a big Summer Game Fest reveal. They're laying off 15% of their workers and closing Timber Games.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's
Yeah.
fantastic news. Oh, people losing their jobs. People
Yeah.
not being able to pay rent or buy groceries. Oh,
Pay rent, pay for their kids' shit, losing health insurance. Well, I mean, they're in Europe. Europe actually has a better unemployment. So, like, I think even if you get unemployed, you have to stay on the company's health insurance for like I think 3 to 6 months. Sometimes it's a year, depending on which country you're in. So it's not as bad in in uh, in Europe. Now, in America, it depends on the state you're in. If you're in a cool state, they got to cover your ass for 6 months, 6 months, a year. If you're in a red state, oh man, don't you get fired. Don't you lose your job. They're going to bend you over and. Anyway, that's it. Got nothing else to say.
all right. Well, got anything else you would like to pimp out before we shut it down?
Yeah, tomorrow I'm having a podcast. BS Busters podcast. Probably be a short one. We'll probably just talk about the PC gaming show, because there was some cool shit in there. And whenever there's cool shit to talk about, we talk about it, because that's what we do here. And we also might talk about some other shit too, because that's what we do. We like to talk shit about people and things. So with that being said, that's it.
All right. Well, it's Kanoshi Bobanita here with another Project Console. You guys have a good week, good weekend, and